leather gloves, we're slapping in hams, popcorn and peanuts, we're working the stands, pink cotton candy, love on a stick, was chasing the beer, that circle the lips, play ball, love on a stick, roll up the bases and smack it right over the wall, play ball.
Let's see. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Laughter Saves Lives
Live
here on Strong Island Television and Paradise Studios in beautiful Massapequa, New York.
And our show is brought to us by Barasch and McGarry, lawyers for the 9/11 community.
You do that beautifully.
Yes, there they are.
There they are. And Butch is already on the screen in the dark. I don't know why he's there, but
there
he's there.
He is. There he
hovering,
is. Okay.
hovering. I don't know.
So, how was your Easter?
My Easter, I'm glad you asked.
Yeah.
I'm glad you asked. My Easter was fine.
Yeah.
Anytime you get together with the family, it's nice.
Yeah.
I'm a games guy. I like to play games.
We played a game.
Now, wait. I don't mind board games. I like to play physical games, too.
Oh,
So I got the kids together and we played cornhole. We played. What is the other name for cornhole? There's another name. Not ring toss. Toss in the bags.
The bag.
Yeah, and I always like to play because I'm better than everybody else. And on the holidays,
it's nice to win.
A nice thing to do is to kick everybody's ass in a game.
Let Grandpa win.
Very festive.
Yeah.
When you said let Grandpa win, I'm like, my father didn't play. Wait a second.
It was you.
Well, I'm a grandpa. That's why I don't call myself Grandpa, I call myself Grambabs.
Yes.
Butch is pointing to his ear like nobody can hear us.
Nobody can hear us?
I don't know.
This was great stuff. I'm on. Alex, they can't hear us. Are we on now?
Alex?
Oh, we can't hear Butch.
No, I think Butch is saying he can't hear us. No, you can hear us?
Can you hear us? Yes. Okay.
Okay.
So
what are you telling us?
He was the one that was all the static, his connection. Why don't you go back out and back in again?
All right. Well, should we continue, Alex?
Call him.
Smooth. Oh, he's calling me on the air. Okay. This is
interesting. Go
ahead. Hello.
Can you hear me?
On the phone.
On the phone.
But you can't hear me there.
No.
Let me try one of the guests, and we'll see if we're going to have an issue tonight.
All right.
Good.
All right. So
there they are. Can you hear us?
Can you guys hear us?
Loud and clear.
Oh, we hear them. Okay.
Can we hear you?
Yes, we can.
I can hear you.
No, you're so smart. I love the podcast. I will be back to you.
Yeah.
We will get back to you. Thank you for being there, though.
The only ones we can't hear is Butch, which
is good.
Right.
Which is good.
Right. Why
so we were talking about Easter.
Yeah.
And then where were you going?
I want to know the games you were playing.
We played cornhole. That's what we played.
We did an interesting game. We had a cup with let's say 15 strings out of it. And all the eggs had money in them.
Okay,
on paper plates.
Nice.
And you take a string, you pull it, and it pulls the plate to the middle.
Right.
Then the kid gets to open up and see what it is.
Oh, the kid!
All of us did it. It was $1, $5, $10. My niece ran the game, and she spent a lot of money. So.
Oh, I did. I always have the Grandbabs Easter egg hunt.
Right.
And the fun part of that is they never know what they're going to get in the eggs. They never know what they're going to get. So
we actually had real egg.
Ooh,
yeah.
That's what you put in it? Just real eggs?
Growing up, yeah. I had this little girl named Laura come to my birthday party, and we all went around the yard collecting the eggs, and we didn't get an accurate count of who won because Laura ate all her eggs in her basket. They were like hard-boiled.
All right. You scared me for a second there.
So,
no, I put
we didn't inform her.
Here's what Grandbabs puts in the eggs. A piece of fresh mutts, some salami, piece of broccoli, some dog food. I put olives.
Nice.
And then, I put some dollars and change and jelly beans too.
Right.
But the kids never know. It's a lot of laughs.
The grand prize winner wins $1 if they find that egg.
Yes. You think Big Tipper Johnny L, remember? Big Tipper.
Yes, you are.
My biggest egg was a buck. Is that what you're saying?
I'm teasing.
It was a buck. It was a
all
buck.
right, yeah.
It might have been more to change.
Unbelievable. Here's
Yeah.
Butch.
Here's Butch. Butch, we can't hear you, Butch. All right.
He's back.
So today was EMS Captain Allison Russo's street dedication. She was killed line of duty last year, if I remember the story correctly, because I was going to have our buddy Jack Clunan on, who worked with her. Jack is working, so he couldn't call in. But I just wanted to give a shout out to EMS Captain Allison Russo, street name today, hero, and that's it. Just
Where
wanted to
is
give a
that
shout.
street?
I don't know. It's in Long Island, but I don't know where. I should have more info on that, right? But you can Google it. You'll find it. I drove my father to Pennsylvania for Easter.
That's fun.
For my Easter, I brought him to my sister's house in Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
Is that nice?
What? I'm listening.
I'm saying is that for my Easter, to celebrate my Easter, I drove my dad out of state. That doesn't sound good.
Oh, yeah, I get it.
You know what I mean?
To get rid of him.
But that wasn't the case. We share him.
Right.
We share him.
Well, I met your dad. He's a delightful man.
He's a delightful man if you sit and talk to him. Yes, he is.
Yes, he is.
To be in a
And he's
car,
funny.
to be in a car for hours with the big guy, the stories, same stories over and over. And we're not letting him drive anymore on the highway.
Right. Does he even care not to drive?
Oh, he's angry. He is not happy about it. And he says, when I drive he drives safely because he was a professional driver. You understand? He drove a truck for years. Professional driver. Hasn't driven a truck in I don't know how many years. But he says, I drive safe. I drive in the right-hand lane. When he gets over the GW bridge, he puts in his Louis Prima cassette.
Yeah.
And then he goes until he gets to my sister's house. When the Louis Prima is just about over, he's there all the time.
He knows.
Right-hand lane. That's his life.
Can you hear me?
Terrible, you make it a lot.
So did your dad ever look up and see 1997 Camry missing silver and go, that's me? Did that ever happen?
That never happened.
Oh.
That never happened.
He turned himself in.
He has a Yaris. Am I saying that? Yaris, a Toyota Yaris.
Yeah.
Ever hear?
Yeah, I heard of it. Yeah.
And he bought the Yaris years ago. And my sister did extensive research so he wouldn't get ripped off. And he walked into the Yaris place, and an attractive young lady, sales girl, came over to him because he's supposed to buy a Camry.
Right.
And he left with a Yaris. I don't know what he paid, how much he got ripped off, but he went for the Yaris.
He must have been ecstatic.
Can you guys hear me?
We
Too
do.
many times.
What's happening is
yes.
it's there's something wrong with the sound. It's like cracking. Like
yeah.
Talk. Let's hear you.
So you can't hear me clearly?
That's
now
better.
we can. Now we can. Yes.
Maybe
yes.
lower your volume a drop.
Yes, and your fan is lovely there. Beautiful
fan for a lighting effect above.
Thank you.
And I like the tornado fan, the Vornado.
Oh, the Vornado, you like that?
Isn't it the best?
It's actually a Polonus.
Feeling. This is Butch, our producer.
Yeah, we haven't talked to Butch in a while.
It's actually a Polonus fan.
Oh.
It's very nice.
Don't know what it means. All right, boys, carry on.
It still is grudgy.
So
I have a bone to pick with you. That's right.
Yes.
We are on a show together coming up there. I don't want to say Richie talked me into it.
Yes.
That's not the right. I've been avoiding this show for years for the wrong reasons. Because you got to be squeaky clean. It's at Samantha's.
Little bit of heaven. East
Heaven.
Northport.
East Northport.
On the 21st, April 21st. Get your tickets. I heard it's already nearing selling out.
It's selling out. And here's why. Here's why it's selling out.
A lot of fire.
Because if you look at the flyer, all right, here's what the flyer says. Samantha's show, award-winning comedian in big font, Rich Walker.
Oh, I don't mean to brag. I was award-winning.
Special guest, John LaRocchia.
Yeah.
Font half the size. No president of the Laughter Says Oz Foundation, hero firefighter, nothing. Right. Special guest, John. He talked me because he could not have that headline status over anybody else on Long Island but me.
I didn't know that was going to happen. But first of all, did you, when requested, did you ever send her your credits?
Right. Wait a second.
So
you might be right.
Right. Did you tell her what you wanted to be put there?
Maybe I said special guest. Hey,
you probably said
maybe
opening up for
guest.
Rich Walker. Listen, this is your first time there. You have to pay your dues.
Award-winning comic Rich Walker.
So if people want to get tickets, go quick because that sells out. It's a beautiful little coffee shop, Christian coffee shop.
Christian coffee
non-denominational.
Really cool.
For everybody up in East North.
And you got to be squeaky clean. And it's not like I'm not squeaky clean, but every once in a while I may say something that wouldn't work there. So that's what I'm nervous about because I respect that audience.
Not only won't it work there, if you slip, wow. I've seen it happen, and it's not pretty. Don't be nervous about it.
Oh, no, don't be nervous.
They used to shake pretzels in a little, like
if you said something that wasn't...
Yeah, and if you're nearing getting a little bit risque.
Right.
But they like you to be clean, but they're going to appreciate you even more. Watch. It's a magical experience. That's all I'm going to say.
I like it. Well, I'm excited. In fact, talking about shows, Laugh to Save Lives has some shows coming up. I'm just going to rip through them quick. Alex, you can throw up the first 2 flyers. And go to laughtosavesliveslives.org if you want to buy tickets for any of these shows. The Green Lawn Fire Department, that flyer is up there April 22nd. April 27th, the big show, Leukemia and Lymphoma Society. We'd like to sell this out. So, get on either side of the flyer. Let's just go.
And look in. Like we're looking in at the flyer. Yes, right.
April 20th. I can't read.
Just read it. And
look, I can put it behind the flyer. Nobody see it. Does that look normal?
Yeah.
April 27th, the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society. We're looking to sell that show out.
Look at how long your arm is.
If you need tickets, we can. Laugh to Save Lives follows. We can give you half price tickets. Might even be able to give you a free ticket or 2 if you bring a crowd. So talk to us.
Not only that, I did that show last year. Great food. Oh my, wow. And what a show that was.
Food. There's no food at this one.
Yes, there is. Green Lawn Fire Department.
Oh, Green Lawn. Yeah,
that one.
Yeah, Green Lawn. Oh, yeah, they're good food. Then we're at May 19th, Williston Park Fire Department. May 20th, St. Stan's, as we called it growing up in Queens. Richie did that last year, St. Stan's.
I did.
And they said...
That's the Williston Park Fire Department?
No, St. Stan's you did. Remember with D and... Yep.
That's the one you said, I want you to do it.
Right.
But don't worry about it if you can't. It was one of those invites. Don't worry about it. You can't do it. You got to mix it up.
Yeah, but I have to put Richie on certain shows, you know.
Did you happen, before I was able to get on, did you happen to wish the man to your left a happy birthday?
Happy birthday, Rich. Happy birthday.
Oh, look at this. This is...
Oh, there he is.
So handsome.
Very handsome.
And shaven.
One more show I wanted to mention. Leave Rick's picture up there for a long time. Leave it up there for the whole show. May 28th.
Thank you, Butch.
Thank you, Butch. May 28th. First time we're working with the Long Island Comedy Festival, a joint venture. Yeah. It's a Night of Heroes comedy.
Yes.
May 28th at the Argyle Theater. That's going to be nice.
I'm not on that one.
Well, it's all people that are...
My book is
related to...
What date is that?
June 8th is York, Pennsylvania. All right, so let's go to a break, and we'll be back with our first guest. We're really running smooth tonight.
This is going
smooth,
great.
Smooth. Right.
If you spent time downtown on 9/11 or in the 8 months after, you were exposed to toxic air and may be eligible for compensation from the $10 billion 9/11 Victim Fund. But most people who qualify still haven't claimed what they're entitled to.
I worked downtown. I didn't die. I was an office worker. I felt like there were others who deserved the money more than I did.
A major reason people haven't claimed the money they're due is guilt. They feel guilty claiming funds when others died or were first responders.
I heard there were 9/11 funds.
but because I wasn't a first responder, I did not apply.
You do not have to be a first responder to qualify. This fund was created for everyone who worked, lived, or attended school south of Canal Street, who may have experienced or have experienced respiratory illness or any of the 68 cancers linked to the toxins. Even if you have a family history of cancer, there is a presumption linking most cancers to the toxins.
I thought it was too late to make a claim. My spouse worked downtown at a bank and died of cancer. Honestly, I just haven't felt up to it.
The government's $10 billion Victim Fund and Health Program have been permanently extended. You just need to have been below Canal Street on 9/11 or at any time in the following 8 months. To see if you qualify, call or go to 911fund.com to speak to a representative of Barasch and McGarry, lawyers for the 9/11 community.
There are many reasons people who are eligible for compensation are not stepping up to claim it. To those who are holding back, I would say just take the first step. Ask for help. Make the call. It's not too late.
I called and I qualified.
I qualify.
I qualify.
Millions of dollars remain unclaimed. You do not have to be seriously ill to qualify.
We're back with Laughter Saves Live.
Live.
Strong Island Television. So, let's bring. Do we have anything else that we wanted to add to the opening segment, or should we? Let's bring out our first guest. And then
we have a big show tonight.
We have a from the Jeffrey Allen Lee Foundation.
Yeah.
We have Michael and Taylor here. Let's bring them on. Now, is that Michael?
Yes, sir.
All right, and that's Taylor.
Taylor, yes.
Say it for me.
It's Taylor. Taylor.
You know, I do.
I like the way she said it better.
No.
Taylor.
Yeah, Taylor. You know, they're from New York also. Are you both from New York?
I'm an Eastern South Shore girl, so I'm from Long Island. Long Island.
All right. All right. Well, it's nice to meet you. Thank you for coming on our kooky little show here. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yes.
And happy birthday, Rich.
Happy birthday to Rich.
Appreciate that.
That was very kind of you. So let's talk a little bit about Jeffrey Allen Lee. You are his daughter, Taylor, correct?
I am. I'm his only child.
His only child. All right. So, you know, we've been wanting to do, I don't know if you looked up Laughter Saves Lives Foundation. We've been wanting to do more with police-related charities. I'm born out of the fire department. And when I started the foundation, that's most of the stuff we've been doing. Military, we've been doing a lot of different things with military and individuals. So I was excited to have you guys on. Tell us a little bit about your dad. What kind of person he was, that kind of thing.
So I feel like the simple terms, he was a giant teddy bear. He was a real big guy, but he had such a soft heart, and he was sensitive and very emotionally intelligent. And I think that made his youth and policing work be worth the while and actually be impactful to New York City. Besides just being a police officer, he was my dad, he was my best friend.
Right.
I was an only child. He was a big sports guy. He played sports. He played for NYPD's basketball league. He tried their hockey league. He did their football and their baseball, and always brought me around those things. And him and we had a special bond. So
well, those things you mentioned,
yeah,
I always think it's important, especially, you know, I talk about my guys that were lost on 9/11, and people put them up on a pedestal, which they deserve, and they're heroes. But we see a different side of these heroes. They're regular people. They're out there playing baseball, but they're coaching, whatever. And you got to see, I guess, a lot of that because he took you around to these different events that he participated in.
Yeah, I see a lot from him, a lot of his leadership skills, a lot of how he interacted with people in his career, and then how that translated into like our home life, which was beautiful. It was just me, my mom, my dad, and our cat. And yeah, and it was a great time. It was a great upbringing, I would say.
I could see like it's glowing from her. Am I using the right word?
Yeah.
All right. So now, what happened to your dad for our viewers?
So he was a 9/11 first responder, and he would write like basically in front when the second tower fell, and then for 5 weeks he spent time at ground zero. But unfortunately, he developed COPD and 9/11 related illnesses. And years later, it ended up affecting him because he was a healthy guy. He was an athlete. He never smoked a cigarette. Like, that wasn't his thing. His friends, the people around him didn't smoke cigarettes. Like, anything that would cause COPD and the issues he had, like, it was clear where it was from. And unfortunately, in 2018, he succumbed to those illnesses.
I'm sorry, Taylor.
Yeah, thank you. But I have to say, through everything, like, he like, for example, he won the Roosevelt Award with the NYPD, so the Award of Resilience, and he was just always through, like, sickness, through anything. He was just, through being a police officer, detective, he was just always a present dad. And I was in sports and a lot of things, and he was just always there. And it amazes me because he was, like, there for me so much, to meet his explorers like Mike and other people who are and be like, wow, like, you had time for them too. Because I feel like I didn't feel like he didn't have time for me, but I feel like
time to be with his family and
but to also impact and be with his NYPD family. So, like, it was beautiful.
Well, I'm going to come back to you. I want to know what time he made you laugh, because we're all about laughter. But I want to go to Michael for a second. So tell us your end of how you knew Jeffrey Allen Lee. He was lieutenant, right?
Yeah. So no, he was actually a detective.
Oh, I'm sorry, detective.
Yeah. So I'm going to show a little picture of him so your viewers can put a face with the name.
Get a little closer.
All right, let me.
Oh,
all right.
There you go.
She got it.
We got it. Yep.
So what kind of stuff did he do with you that Taylor said, I didn't even think he had the time, and yet you developed this relationship with him?
So I was a little bit of a troublemaker kid growing up, didn't like school so much. So I had a mutual friend of ours that said, hey, Mike, why don't you come by the precinct? And I said, what's the last place I want to go? He said, no, they got a program. You get to ride around in a police car, all this stuff. So I said, you know what, I'll try it out. At the time, I was only 12 or 13, something like that.
Wow.
And her father was a very tall and big guy. I was very intimidated by him.
Yeah.
And but within like a day of knowing him, I felt where he's just one big teddy bear, just a gentle soul, just a nice guy. And from day one, he was giving me guidance. He was correcting some of my mannerisms, building some of my character. And he was the youth officer for the 112 precinct. So had this.
There's somebody now in your life that cares a lot.
Correct. Right? Yeah.
And what a difference that makes.
Yeah. And the Explorer program is kind of like, not too many people know about it. So like your viewers out there, I hope Nassau County has an Explorer program. Suffolk County has an Explorer program. It's pretty much, they take kids from 13 to 20, I believe. Yep. And you learn what the day of the life is of a police officer. You ride around in the police cars. You do scenarios. You go on competitions. They teach you how to separate domestic violence, how to enter a burglary, and you kind of see what it's like to be a cop
and make arrests with the kids.
Oh, yeah, with the kids, yeah,
drug bust.
Yeah. But it's a lot of fun, and it really helps. Two things it really helps with. It helps really build the character on the kids, and also give them that perspective of a police officer,
right?
And in the eyes of it and what they got to deal with. So that is, I think that's very important for the community, for the community to understand what it's like to be a cop. So so that's what Jeff was a great guy. Even after I left the Explorer program, I went into auxiliary police. And then I went into the Army.
The Army. Thank you for your service.
Thank you.
And then I went into city service in New York City.
That's fantastic.
What did you do in the Army?
I was combat engineering unit for carpentry and masonry.
It's amazing how many jobs are in the Army, right? Everybody thinks the Army got the front
trades, line. 1 million trades.
There must be more people backing up than on the front line, so to speak, right?
A lot of support behind the scene.
Yeah.
You know what happened when I was in second grade? It's not an explorer story, but you remember the police officers used to come to the school and make little speeches. Second grade, the police officer took a kid out of the audience, volunteer,
right,
and put him in handcuffs. And the kid started to cry because he thought he was getting arrested. The poor police officer couldn't even get the key in to get the kid out, and he's dropping the keys. It was the funniest thing. You know, I never forgot it.
I was teaching a class somewhere in the middle of the country for Homeland Security.
Yeah.
And it was a police department. So we're up there. A few of us were cops, a few of us were firefighters teaching the class.
Yeah.
It's a week-long class. And they go, guys, can we just break for 10 minutes? We need to tase one of your students.
Oh.
You know, because they had to have that training. So we're sitting there in the classroom, and they got the guy in the front, and they tased us, part of their training, which I thought was kind of wacky, but it is. All right, let's get back to.
They're not laughing.
No. Funny.
I'm just.
That's not my audience.
I'm just.
I know, me too. It's
all right, so Taylor, give us a time or two your dad made you smile or laugh.
He was really funny. He was super funny.
Was he?
I have one is made me smile, one's laugh. Okay, so he was a great cook. Like, my dad is an African American man, but you would think he was Italian with the way he made sauce and his pastas and everything, his lasagna. Like, amazing cook. So he would like cook and sing, like, get your eat on. He would like do a little dance and sing, and it would make me laugh. And that was like one thing. And he was just really funny. Like, he had a great sense of humor.
Yeah.
And then one thing that made me smile, it's a little short story, but just to show you how in tune he was, I think I was like 20 years old, and I just came home from my junior year of college, and I was home for the summer, and I was dating a guy, and we went on a break, and I was just so sad. And I was like in my room for weeks. And my dad kind of like, he was like treading lightly, and I was like locked myself in my room, whatever. And like one day he came in my room, he was like, hey, like, want to go to a doubleheader Mets game?
Ooh.
Diamondbacks, Mets, doubleheader. And I was like, fine, like, sure. And it was probably like, I felt like 12 hours of baseball at Citi Field. And I didn't think of the breakup or the boy at all. And I just laughed all day, and we just ate hot dogs and talked. And yeah, and at the end, like, I got home, and like one of my friends asked me something, and I was like, oh, I don't know. I was at baseball with my dad all day. Like, I have no
that's a great story.
I always like those moments we had.
Yes, I always tell my kids we can have fun anywhere. Like I used to tell, I gotta go to the supermarket. I don't go by myself. I go, we can have fun anywhere. Come on, and we always do. You know, so that's a great memory.
Mike, tell us a little bit about what you guys are doing tonight, because you see, they're all dressed up, John, and I know they've got an event going on.
I thought it was for us. Yeah.
No. So every year the Explorer program has a recognition dinner. So all the precincts, I have FBI, U.S. Customs, DEA, they all have an Explorer unit. They all come down and they give awards to post advisors, explorers, and we give our scholarship out to the kids, academic scholarship to the kids.
This is year 5 for us already.
Yeah.
Year 5.
So the foundation's going well.
Yeah.
So, can we do a comedy night to raise some money for the foundation?
I'm all for it.
I would love that.
All right. So we'll talk more about that. But that leukemia and lymphoma show we're doing, I think it was April 27th. I'll give you guys free tickets if you want to come.
Yes.
All right. Bring some friends. We'll charge them double to make up for you.
Yeah. If you don't mind, John, if later on, if you can put our website out, and it's the Hero Fund NYC.org.
Hero Fund NYC.org.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
We're going to put that right up.
Butch will take care of that.
Yeah. The Hero Fund NYC.org.
Guys, is your event over, or are you taking time out to talk to us?
We took some time out, and like right now they're banging at the door. I guess.
Okay.
All right, go.
We will let you go. Thank you.
By the way, right down there, look, the Hero Fund NYC.org. Thank you very much, Alex, for taking care of that.
Yeah, just Hero Fund NYC.org.
You're doing great.
We'll talk. Thanks, guys.
Happy birthday, brother.
Thank you for taking the time. What a sweetheart. Yeah, you know.
I kind of wish I was at that event.
Right? Isn't it nice to
no
see?
offense.
No, that's all right. That's all right. I wish you were at that event too. Isn't it nice? Because then Roseanne would have been here. If you're not here, who fills in for you, Roseanne?
Roseanne.
I'm telling you, she calls me like every other day.
How annoying.
Is Richie sick? Kidding. That's how the call starts. It doesn't even start with a hello. I answer the phone. I go, it's Roseanne, and maybe she wants to talk about the comedy show. Yeah. Hello, is Richie sick? I go, no. All right. And she hangs. That's it. It's the whole conversation.
The poor thing needs to get on TV. She's cut out for TV.
Let me tell you something.
Yeah.
I am a little jealous that I wasn't at this Bruce Springsteen concert last night.
I didn't even know about it.
Oh my God! I saw it's all over Facebook. People were there.
Oh, really?
But I don't know how a comic got seats close enough to touch his tush.
Wow.
So I want to ask her. Let's bring in Sandy Els, one of our favorite comics in the whole world.
Sandy! Wow, this is big news, Sandy.
What was that all about?
Can you hear me? Can you
hear
me?
Yes.
Yeah, a little louder.
I just got home. He just got off stage, the guy.
Wow, that's a show.
I still have my makeup on. First place, Rich, happy birthday. When I see you, I'm going to give you a Sandy hug, which means you'll be in the bosom of heaven.
Okay, good.
Number two, you know what? He was fabulous. We were all the way up in nosebleed seats.
Right.
My friend Sue had a connection.
Right.
It was like a bubble coming out of her head. I wonder if it's Joey so-and-so. I'm going to text him.
He only did the one
bracelet.
concert.
Yeah.
Joey Bada Bing, whoever she knew that she made out with in high school, I don't know. We got the bracelets. We went down. And now, I got the knee, John. I knew I had to stand, but I was going to stand anyway. For Bruce, you don't sit.
Right.
All the way down. I'm telling you, I was under his ass. I was so happy. So happy.
Facebook. See where she was sitting.
And Long Island, I have to tell you guys, when I have to go to Long Island, I shit my pants because, I'm a Jersey girl. But I will tell you, very organized, the UBS Center. I could see how the Islander people, when you see the hockey game, you file out. He played 3 hours and 15 minutes, which is short for him. Short for him. They're old, the generic crowd, but he still got it. Bruce, listen. You know what? He's like the Michael Jordan he's with the same band 50 years. Yeah. 50 years the E Street Band is together. And Clarence Clemens' nephew is at the saxophone.
Wow.
Max Weinberg is a beast on the drums. I really was in heaven, and I'm not the big fan. My friends love him. Every year they take me to the concert, but he hasn't been in concert in over 6.5 years.
Wow.
Well, he's the boss. How old is he now?
70. He's 102.
Yeah.
No, he's 73. He's 73. And Colin Quinn has that joke. I love this joke about Colin Quinn. He says, Bruce Springsteen, he's for the working man. His songs are for the working man. He says, well, if he was for the working man, he'd end his concerts early so the working man could get to his job the next day. He was just fabulous. Rosalita, which is my favorite song, was the last song. And the band is great.
Really?
No, of course I do.
The band live must be unbelievable.
They're phenomenal.
They are. That Stevie Van Zandt with that face, with that Sopranos face and playing I have to tell you, listen, in another 10 years, I know we're going to be going up in a wheelchair ramp. But I have to tell you, 73, he opened up his shirt like this. My friend Sue says, oh, that's disgusting. He's 73. I go, better than us opening up our shirts at this age. He fabulous. From beginning to end, entertaining. And listen, he entertained Long Island, but I'm a Jersey girl at heart. You can't be from Jersey and not love this man.
Yeah,
of course. He's New Jersey's own. Right?
I just had to have you on to talk about it because I saw that you had such great seats. And
I was so lucky. I put my friend Sue on my organ donor card now because it's like I got to give her a piece of me when I die because I'm a little older. And I'm like, Sue, I owe you now. I owe you.
Hey, Sue, can we get Sue on one night? And
you know what? She lives in Cabo San Lucas and she's here for 2 weeks. She's a realtor in Cabo San Lucas. We all had a beach house together and she moved away. She met this guy, got married. And he was a widower, and they moved to Cabo San Lucas. Wow. And she's been there 25 years. She's one of the top realtors in Cabo. Yeah.
The only one, no?
Yeah, and she's just you probably, but she comes to town just to see Bruce. She went to see him in 3 friggin' cities.
Wow.
This is what she does. But she dragged us along for the ride, and we're so grateful. I'm telling you, last night was like a dream. We went down VIP. I was like, friends of Bruce, friends of Bruce.
You're still on a high.
You are so high from this concert. Wow.
I was.
Can I hit you up with? I don't mean to put you on the spot, but over the last few months, you have any new comedy bits you want to share with us? Any new topics?
I wrote a thing about my mother, which I have to tell you, who's been dead for many years. But Rich, you know what they do to you? They just they stay in your head. The Italian, right? So I wrote a joke. I said, when she was 43, she had me at 43. My sister's 15 years older, and I said to her, Mom, what was it like, to have me at 43 back in 1960? John, that's not Vogue like today.
Right.
It was like somebody went over to somebody's bed, so it's a problem. So I said to her, what was it like? What was going through your mind? She's like this with the cigarette. We thought you were a tumor. I said, for how long? She says, till my water broke. No prenatal care for Sandra. Nothing. Not a thing. Okay.
Wow, that's a great joke.
Sandy, do me a favor. Turn your phone sideways.
Sideways? You're going to see me wider. Look, can I do that?
Perfect.
Can you see me?
There we go.
You see the double chin?
I'm going to get you to take it from the top. How was the Bruce Springsteen concert last night?
You want all over again?
No.
Let me tell you something. Rich, next time I'm coming to your house and I'm picking you up. You on Long Island?
I'm coming.
I'll take you with me. There were these young guys. These young guys were behind us. I don't know what their deal was. We smelled a lot of marijuana, we smelled, and they were behind us. And one guy says, yo, you ladies, older ladies, you got it going on. And I turned around and go, there's nothing to see here. Turn around.
Wow.
Nothing to see. Well,
go back into your houses.
Thank you on short notice for coming and embracing us. You're one of my favorite comics. We'll see you. I think we'll see you. You're at a Laugh to Save's live show in the future.
Yes, I have to meet that. I have to see that Rich Walker in person. He's like a celebrity.
I never worked with Sandy. I never worked with Sandy.
You might be
hysterical.
Everybody loves you, Rich. Everybody loves you.
This
and
is
look at who you're with. This guy, John LaRocca. He found me, and I'm so grateful.
Well, we're lucky to know you and work with you. And thank you for taking the time to come on short notice. I appreciate it.
And please come on when you see Billy Joel.
Yeah, if we see Billy Joel, come back on.
I promise I will, definitely. Who knows where I'll be? I got to call my friend Sue.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, thank you so much.
You're the best,
hysterical.
Sandy.
Bye, guys.
Good night.
Good night. Keep doing what you're doing, John.
Love Sandy.
Hysterical.
Can we go to break? And we'll be back with Joe
Curry.
Curry.
Right back.
Hi, I'm Arthur Lee, founder, CEO, and inventor of LifeVac, a simple rescue device that could save a child's life in a choking emergency. All these people were saved with LifeVac. People may not realize that on average, 14 people a day die from choking-related incidents. Every 5 days, one of those is a child. As simple as place, push, pull.
To learn more, please visit lifevac.net.
Bada bing! And we're back. Laugh to Save's Lives live. Laugh to Save's Lives live. He's 40 minutes late. Live. Last week we had a mix-up here, and we're supposed to have Joe Curry on. We never gave the link to Joe Curry to come in. Right? So
it wasn't a mix-up. It was me.
All right.
It was me. I take full responsibility.
We're gonna throw you under the bus.
It's fine. I take full responsibility. I love Joe Curry. I went and I actually saw Joe and
Rich.
Oh, you, Rich. That was your show too. Was it you, Joe, and who else?
No.
The Impressionist.
The Delacus?
Well,
yeah.
Joe Curry wasn't on that show.
No.
That
Joe.
How about we bring out Joe Curry so we can?
Very funny.
Very funny, man.
We'll talk after about
Joe Curry.
Hey, I made it. I made it.
When was your birthday?
My birthday was April 6th. Happy birthday, Rich.
Happy birthday. Look at that.
Joe Curry has been in the waiting room for a week.
Yeah.
No,
I'm lucky I made it because my AOL link went down and I had to jump. I had to remember what my password was on Google. So I got on.
I know the old password. But the funny part is last week, remember, Joe was watching the show.
Right.
And we kept saying, where's that freaking Joe Curry? He's not, he screwed up, whatever. And he's watching the show, sending messages.
I'm like Schwarzenegger going, I'm here. I do not have the link. I'm here.
And if you go home, you can read the messages as Joe is frustrated there. Well, number one, the reason he was gone last week, one of the reasons, we did a show together in Forest Hills at the American Legion Hall.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know how much I love those salt of the earth people working with the American Legions, the Volley Firehouses. That's our base, Laugh to Save Lives.
Yeah.
That's who we are. We're not the big theaters. Like if the big theaters call us, we just say no. But if you call us. No. And to have Joe on the show, Joe was the headliner on the show.
Bring my seat.
And people after the show came up to me and said, "What a great show. Could you have a stronger headliner?" And I said, "Joe, I love Joe." Nobody said that. Everybody had a ball. So I want to thank you for doing that show.
It was a great time. It was a great time. I got to show you guys. I'm going to move out of the way for 1 second. Okay, I'm going to move out of the way. And if you'll notice that there's a picture, Richie, right there.
Oh my God.
What is it?
That's a flyer from when Richie used to produce shows at McGuire, the Sunday Night Funnies at McGuire's. Richie, that's from 1998.
I used to make a playbill with all the comics.
That's where it's from 1998.
For you too.
Yeah.
It's got Joe Mackin on it. It's got Infantino is on there. We got a couple other people. But yeah, that's how long we've
gone. So far back. What is that thing next to that show flyer?
The black thing. That's my one of my bands, Race Odyssey. Race Odyssey
diploma.
Yeah, that's the diploma from stand up. Oh, once again, stand up university diploma.
He graduated, but you were doing comedy before that.
I was, I tell you, I was doing comedy for about 2 years before I took the class, and I got to tell you, the class is so, so much information. There's times that I'm on stage now, and 24 years in, and I'll be in a situation. I go, Peter says do this, or Richie says do this, and there was one night that you always told me if you're doing a show. You're producing a show at a bar, whatever. Always, if they tell you you have a PA, make sure there's a PA in the car. And I never forgot that. I'm doing a show, Dallas, Pennsylvania, middle of nowhere, Sunday night. I get to the gig. Rich Carucci, Rich Carucci comes out. Yeah. Rich Carucci comes out and goes, "They don't have a PA. There's no PA." I go, "Relax." And I told Rich that night, I go, "Thank you to Rich Walker. We got a PA tonight." Because I never forget.
I also have a bag with little lights and all kinds of wires, connectors.
He's got a tent in there.
Yeah.
A car charger.
100-person tent in case it rains outside. We set that all up. And a U-Haul. You have to have a U-Haul.
At least have a mic stand. At least have a mic stand, if nothing else.
I walked into a gig and our mic stand was a broomstick stuck into a planter. And I what are we working at Gilligan's Island? Like mic on it and all that stuff. So what are you working on?
Yeah, what are you working on these days?
Basically, I just put up. I have my alter ego, Dick Eldorado, and I just did a couple of Dick Eldorado clips before I put that up. Davin's Den is doing very well. We're looking to be syndicated, and we're doing on that. We're on every two. We weren't on this week. Davin's on the road, but we're on every Tuesday, 6:30 to 9:30 p.m. Go to davincomedy.com. We have the Davin's Den link on that. You click that, brings you right to the show. Or on Facebook. We do 3 hours. One of the things that we are claimed to fame, we scam scammers. It's catfishing, but it's better. We waste these people's time. So far, we have cost these scammers down in Florida a $2 billion lawsuit. Got thrown out because of evidence we got on them.
Look at that.
Yeah, we're consulted by the U.S. Army. We also were on American Greed on a segment about scammers. So we do a lot of good work with that. And you know, Davin goes out and he does speeches and stuff like that. So yeah, it's a fun show. Plus we talk about politics. We talk about absurdity. Sometimes we have our coming up. We're going to have our worst mothers for Mother's Day, worst fathers for Father's Day. We just had the biggest pool. So it's a very fun show, very fast moving show.
Yeah, 3 hours is a long time. We done after an hour here, right?
Yeah, John and I struggle at 15.
15 minutes.
And then we're like, bring on a guest.
Bring on Curry.
Yeah. Material-wise, Joe, what do you? What's your fun stuff you got?
I've been working on a bunch of new stuff. I've been working on one joke I have is that they're with Jack Daniels, where they stop leaving the flavors alone for Jack Daniels. I just want, nobody ever went into an old Western saloon and said, "What do you have, stranger? Give me a whiskey. Do you want cinnamon? Do you want fire? Yeah, fire, because I'm going to shoot you in the butt." And people go, "Well, don't you drink whiskey for the taste?" No, I drink it to fall down in the bushes and wake up there in the morning. You know.
What about pumpkin spice?
Pumpkin spice should be no part of whiskey. Okay.
Apple
either. I want whiskey straight. Whiskey. That's what I like.
I'm a Scotch guy.
That's really funny, Joe.
I'm a Scotch guy. I haven't had a taste of Scotch in my life, but I've been using that line for the last few years with my family. It just stops them in their place. They call me an idiot just for another. We'll be talking about something unrelated, and I'll go, "Yeah, but I'm a Scotch guy."
Right.
So yeah, give us some other new material you're working on.
I'm working on now. They were talking about Bruce Springsteen, and I dated a girl who was a very big Bruce Springsteen fan. I'm not. She also had this teddy bear she used to have with her all the time, and the bear was called Russell. And one day she goes, "Do you want to sit on the floor and listen to Bruce Springsteen?" And I'm like, "No, that's torture to me. I'm not doing." And she goes, "You don't love me." I go, "I love you. I just don't." "Well, you apologize." "All right, I apologize." And she goes, "You have to apologize to Russell." I go, "I'm not apologizing to Fabric. I'm not doing it." And so I go, "All right, look, I apologize." "Well, Russell can't hear you." "You know why? He has ears made of buttons. He can't hear me." So one day, she had to excuse herself to go to the restroom. So I decided that then and there, Russell had to go. Go. So she ran into the bathroom. I took Russell and put him in the microwave, right? So then she comes out and she sees there's smoke and everything. She's going, "What's going on?" So I start singing Bruce Springsteen to her. "Hey, little girl, I gotta go, but there's something you have to know. Russell's on fire." So... yeah,
you're a big hit.
You're a music guy. You played in a band for years.
Yeah, I'm in the music room right now. I got on the to my right side of my albums that I played on, and I got the one in the back is my Race Odyssey band. Yeah, I've been playing for you. I got my band now, Fragile Sky, and we do originals. We're going to be working some covers. And we're going to be playing out in the clubs probably in June. We're going to head out. Go to fragileskymusic.com. We got our originals are really good, and we've been putting together some cover songs just to play out a little bit more. And the cover songs are coming out really well.
So I guess you won't be playing any Bruce Springsteen songs.
No.
Why don't you? Is it you're not a fan or you despise?
I can tell you.
I don't like it. I don't like his voice. He sings like this, and the music. Don't get me wrong. The E Street Band is phenomenal.
Okay.
Phenomenal. Great play. I just don't like his voice. And there are songs that I do. I like Glory Days. Born to Run is magnificent. But like that song I was doing, I'm on Fire, is awful. I can't believe that was a hit.
Yeah.
Well,
it was a hit because of his fans, right?
Oh, his fan base is absolutely rabid.
Yeah.
The girl I dated, which was part of the joke, she massive Bruce Springsteen fan, follows him all around the country.
Right. With Russell.
Yeah, with Russell. With Russell. If she ever heard that joke, she'd kill me.
Oh my God.
But I like all music. I'm into metal. I'm into classic music. I like all sorts of bands. I still like
Gregorian chants.
I'm sorry.
I said Gregorian chants.
You know what? There's a band called The Who, H-U, not The Who,
Right.
H-U, The Who, and they play rock Gregorian chants. These guys.
Well, there's one for
There's
YouTube.
a niche.
Yeah, it's really good.
So craziest gig you ever did, or one of the craziest gigs? We always ask comics that question.
One of the craziest gigs I ever did was with my band Rotgut. And we used to have a stage show, which John Glenn, you could ask John Glenn. John Glenn will tell you we had the best stage show on Long Island, bar none. And what we did was it was the Long Island Rock Festival finals, and it was one of the final nights. And what we did was, now Anthony Cumia from Opie and Anthony Cumia show, lead singer in my band. With his brother Joe. Anthony, people don't know this. Anthony is like a mechanical genius. He could whiz everything, wing everything up. So what we did was we had this thing where I would come out and go, look, the guys in the band are kind of nervous. And we had a tragic incident happen backstage, but the show must go on. The curtains open up, and my lead guitar player, his brother Joe, and my other guitar player Rex are hanging by nooses, swinging around. It was a thing we had, and we did the first song with them swinging around, hanging on nooses. It was called we did a remake of "I Want to Be Your Man" by the Beatles, and then the curtains close. It was a quick change. We go right into our next song, curtains off, and it was something that we rehearsed. And we went over, and it was an amazing time. It was a great gig, and we didn't win. We came in second. You know who came in first? Ed Ryan with Wide Awake. Now you guys know Ed as a great comedian, which he is.
Singer, but we know him as a comedian too.
Yeah, we know as a comedian. Ed is one of the most phenomenal musicians. At one of the governor's Christmas parties, he did a acoustic rendition of Eleanor Rigby, which made your hair stand on end. But anyway, we're up against his band, Wide Awake. And those guys come out on stage. And Anthony Cumia and I thought we had this wrapped up. We're done. We won. Ed comes out like a messiah. Amazing. And they won. And to tell you the truth, they were the better band. They beat us twice. Right. And they always were the better band. Now, Ed always, when there was a comic roast and Ed's there and I'm there, Ed, one of the first things he does is Ed hangs it over my head. Well, Joe, guess who won when you compete? You did, Ed. We get it. Phenomenal guy, phenomenal musician.
I want to say one thing, because your story reminded me of a story when John came out on stage. The audience was hanging a noose.
Well, you know
what that, Rich?
You know what Ed did to me one night? There was a show we were doing at Mary Carroll's over in Babylon, which Jim Engel used to run. So before the show,
probably did it with you.
You probably did. And it was a fun show. So Jim goes to me, Joe, go up and do 10. All right, great. So I go up, I'm doing 10. Ed is sitting in front, and I'm going, well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. And Eddie's like, stretch. And I'm like, I do another 5. And I'm like, all right, folks, that's my Ed's like, stretch. I do 15. I get done. Jim is bawling me up. You were supposed to do 10. You go 15. What do you do? I go, Ed told me to Where's Ed? Where did Ed go? He set me up. And to this day, Jim will not believe me. He thinks I ran the light on purpose. I didn't.
Funny.
You never run the light. You're a pro.
Yep.
You're a pro, my friend.
Yeah.
Where can people find you? Where are you going to be performing?
All righty then. I am going to be, I've got a busy weekend next weekend. Friday, April 21st, I'm going to be with Rich Voss at Max's ESCO. It's going to be a restaurant, 1559 Richmond Road. It's going to be a great show. Go dial 718-980-5006. Following night, I'm going to be at the Algonquin Theater with a couple of great acts. I'm forgetting it right now, but it's going to be a great night for that. Dial 1-877-uncle-VIN. It's going to be with Jeff Norris. Jeff Norris and his wife Renee.
Good. Yeah,
and that's going to be. And Jeff is phenomenal. Renee is phenomenal. Voss is Voss. So Staten Island, Manasquan, New Jersey. Come on out. You can find the dates on my Facebook page, Joe Curry Comedy or Joe Curry.
And
we got to go, Joe.
I'm
Thank
sorry
you
to run.
So much. You were
Sorry
terrific.
about last week.
Thanks, don't worry. Thanks, guys. I'll talk to you later.
Take care.
Old leather gloves, we're slapping in hands. Popcorn and peanuts, we're working the stands. Pink cotton candy, love on a stick. He's chasing the deer that circle the lips. Play ball, play ball. Load up the bases and smack it right over the wall. Play ball, play